Have you ever walked down a street and just felt, I don't know, happy? Or maybe the complete opposite, totally uninspired? Well, it turns out there's a hidden language in the design of our cities that shapes how we feel every single day. And today, we're going to learn how to decode it. You know the feeling, right? You walk through one neighborhood and it is just buzzing with energy. It's full of interesting little corners and things to see. And then you go to another part of town and it just feels empty, kind of impersonal, maybe even a little bit boring. So what is really going on here? What's the secret language behind these feelings? Well, the answer actually has a name: urban morphology. And hey, don't let the fancy term fool you. It's simply the key to understanding why a city feels the way it does. Think of it like learning to read a new language, not one of words, but of streets and buildings and spaces. Once you know the grammar, you can suddenly read the story of any city you're in. All right, so to kick things off, we're going to zoom way, way out, like to a 30,000-foot view. From up here, we can see the city's most fundamental shape and its skeleton. These are the two biggest clues to its whole identity. First up is what we call urban form, and that's basically the city's overall 3D shape. On one side, you've got the compact form, growing up vertically like Manhattan. Everything's dense, built for walking, built for public transit. On the other side, you've got the sprawl form, expanding outwards horizontally like Los Angeles. It's a city built for the car. And look, the big takeaway here isn't about which one's better, but that this single decision, do we build up or out, radically shapes everything about daily life. Okay, so if form is the city's overall shape, what's holding it all together? That's where its urban structure comes in. And I love this quote. It calls it the skeleton of the city. It really is the invisible framework that everything else is built on. It's what makes a city work. And if we stick with that body analogy, it all just clicks into place, right? You've got the transport network. Those are the city's arteries, just pumping people and goods everywhere. Then you have the organs, the downtown core, the major squares, the places where everything happens. And of course, you have the lungs, the parks and the green spaces that let the city, and all of us, breathe. All right, let's zoom in a bit. We're coming down from that 30,000-foot view of the skeleton, and we're looking at the city's 2D blueprint. This is the map, the actual pattern of streets and blocks that we navigate every single day. Turns out, pretty much every city is built on one of three basic street patterns. It's like its urban DNA. First, you've got the logical gridiron of a place like New York. Super easy to find your way around, but yeah, it can get a little monotonous. Then you have the super dramatic radiocentric pattern of Paris, where these grand avenues all shoot out from a central point. Creates incredible views, but also, you guessed it, major traffic jams. And finally, you have the organic pattern, like an old Delhi, which just grew naturally over centuries. It's an absolute joy to get lost and on foot, but a total nightmare for a car. Now let's zoom in even closer. Right down to the pixel size of the city. This is something called urban green. On one side, you see a fine green area. Lots of small buildings, tons of different doors and windows, a real mix of things to see. It feels walkable, it feels interesting. On the other side, a coarse green area. One giant superblock, a massive building, a huge parking lot. It's built for cars, not for people. And the insight here is so simple but so profound. The grain of a neighborhood is one of the biggest reasons it feels either alive or totally dead. Okay, time to land. We're on the ground now, at street level. This is where all those bigger ideas, the form, the structure, the pattern, all come together to create the actual tangible feeling of a place. So let's talk about urban texture. This is literally the visual feel of a street. Think about it. A homogeneous texture, where every single building is a clone of the one next to it, can feel really sterile. But a heterogeneous texture, that rich mix of old and new, tall and short, brick and glass, that's what gives our favorite streets their unique character. That visual variety is what keeps our eyes and our minds engaged. Finally, and honestly, this might be the most important concept of all, we have to look at the space between the buildings. A positive space, like a classic town square, is designed with purpose. It feels enclosed. It's defined. It's like an outdoor room that actually invites you to hang out. Negative space is the opposite. It's just the leftover stuff, that undefined patch of grass by a highway. It's a void you just pass through, not a place you'd ever want to be. And that distinction is often the difference between a beloved community hub and a desolate, empty lot. Wow, okay, so we've covered a lot, right? We've gone all the way from a 30,000-foot view right down to the feeling of a single plaza. But the cool thing is, you now have this powerful new toolkit to see your own city in a completely different light. So here it is. This is your urban decoder ring. Just 6 simple concepts that let you see the invisible forces that shape our world. You've got the form, its 3D shape; the structure, its skeleton; the pattern, its 2D blueprint; the grain, the pixel size; the texture, the visual mix; and the spaces, the feeling in between. You can now read the story that your city is telling you. So the next time you step outside, I want you to ask yourself this: what is the grain of my neighborhood? Is it fine or is it coarse? And how does that pixel size actually shape my daily walk, the errands I run, my entire experience of this place? Because now you can actually see it. You have the tools. Go out and read your city.